All right, shalom. Good morning. I'm going to go and clear up an error that I made in my last lesson today. It is regarding the error in translation in the King James Bible. We're going to be looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9, in about 4 different translations. So as you can see, on the right hand is the King James, and on the left is the Berean. This is just as an example, so let's go down to verse 9. The King James specifically says, "No effeminate will inherit the kingdom of God." But on the left-hand side, it says, "No homosexual will enter into the kingdom of God." So which one is correct? I've been taught that the King James is the most accurate translation, and looking at other translations such as the Geneva and the Aramaic, it is not the most accurate translation. So let's take a look at the Geneva. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9, it says, "Nor buggerers will inherit the kingdom of God." And if you look up the word buggerers, it means sodomite, homosexual. So there's two for homosexuals not inheriting the kingdom of God, and then the King James Version is only one that says no effeminate. And there's a big difference, because you can be a straight man but be effeminate. And it's quite possible that if the deeds of your life have, if you've gained favor in the Lord's eyes, then maybe you can, if you're an effeminate man, inherit the kingdom of God. And that is the error in the translation, and I do apologize for that. I wasn't aware that the King James is not the most accurate translation. I thought that the 1611 was the most accurate. But clearly, the King James Bible is not the most accurate. So let's go to the Aramaic, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. As you can see here, it says, "And neither those who lay down with males." So it is specifically saying the sexual act of being a homosexual, you cannot inherit the kingdom of God. But the King James, like I said, it says no effeminate. I mean, let's be honest, if you're an effeminate man, you're basically knocking at the door of being a homosexual, but it's actually the act of being a sodomite, laying down with another male, that damns your soul, where you cannot inherit the kingdom of God. So that's 3-1 verses over the King James Bible. So based on that, I will not be teaching based on the King James anymore. At this point right now, I look at the King James as the NIV version, just a perverted translation, distorted translation of the of the Torah, of the Hebrew scriptures. I cannot read verbatim Hebrew at this point, so I'm not going to be teaching based off the King James anymore because it's inaccurate. So this is just an example. I will not be teaching off the NIV anymore. That's worse than the King James Bible translation. If you look at what it says in the NIV for Esau's blessing in Genesis, it says Esau doesn't get any blessing. But in every other translation, every other translation says Esau gets the fatness of the earth. So it is partly my fault, because I should have doubled and triple checked for last lesson. I trusted the King James Bible when I should not have. And I do apologize for that. I hope the Lord can forgive me, and I hope I've cleared up my error. It is the sexual act that damns you, where you cannot enter into the kingdom of God. If you're effeminate, but you're a righteous person, it is still possible for you. Just to make it clear. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you what the scriptures say with the best of my ability. So if you want the most accurate translation, do not go to the King James Version. It is one of the worst. So that is a mini lesson for today. I hope I've cleared up my mistake. I do apologize. I hope the Lord can forgive me for that. So let's just look at the other scriptures again real quick. Again, this one is the Geneva. And then this is the Aramaic. They actually describe the sexual act. So if I come across more errors, I'll let you know. But that is the error that I'm correcting today for last Sabbath day's lesson. So until next lesson, shalom.